Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 256 of a Wrestling Gal podcast, providing you with the female perspective on all things wrestling. Join me, your host and wrestling enthusiast, Ella J. As today, I am joined by the standout, Taylor Rising. Now let's chat. Hello, everybody. Today I am joined by standout Taylor Rising. So how are you today?
I'm awesome. I'm so happy that I could be on your show. Thank you for having me on here.
Of course, I'm so excited to chat with you today. There's lots to discuss, but I wanted to start off today. You seem like a person who enjoys the outdoors and nature, would you say?
Yes, especially now that the warmer weather is coming up. I'm definitely not one for the cold, but hiking all day, swimming, camping, as long as the weather's good.
Now,
always.
You're not one for the cold, but we live up in like the north. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I think we're used to it though, but I
We are.
completely understand it. What is the weather for you today? Obviously I'll have to do the conversion in my head temperature wise, but what's the weather for you like today?
Right. Yeah, because we do Celsius.
Yes.
Right. It's gorgeous outside right now.
Yeah.
It's you can see the light shining through. I think it's going up to like 20.
Okay.
So like we're starting to see summer weather. Yeah, but it's nice. It's so nice outside.
I think that's about high 60s, low 70s Fahrenheit, if I'm like doing the math in my head correctly. But
Yeah, I don't know how. I think you like divided by. I don't know how
yeah,
it works.
it's something. We're not doing math on a wrestling
No.
gal today. No. But okay,
No.
so it makes sense as the temperature's warming up. I've seen you do a lot of photo shoots in like the outdoors, so that's the reason I asked. So what would you maybe say is the most adventurous or maybe daring experience you've ever had like in nature or the outdoors?
Most daring experience out in nature. Oh my God, I don't even know to be like. I'm pretty chill, other
Okay.
than just like going out for like adventures, as in walking outside to a nice view to sit at and then walk back to the car kind of thing. So I haven't been into anything super crazy, I would say.
Okay, can you kind of describe like the most beautiful view that you've seen then?
Mm, okay. I'm I'm gonna say it's in Beamsville. Um, that's a city like on the way to Port Dover. They have like this man-made quarry. Um, it's not like much of an adventure like to get there, but once you park your car, you just like go up um I don't know the pathway that's there. But once you're there, it's just like open water within the quarry, obviously, but it's just so pretty. Like there's nothing else around, like no, I don't know, nothing constructional around. It's just very like, I don't know. I'm such a bad person at describing things, but it's
No,
such a pretty place to go to. You could
I
swim
love
in
like
there
the
too.
places on the water, like
Yeah.
completely. Like there's so many beautiful places like all around that sometimes you don't get to like appreciate too, especially in COVID
Yeah.
times and all of that. But I
Yeah.
mean, peeping your Instagram too, like I said, you've done your fair share of photo shoots. So do you kind of have a favorite or most memorable photo shoot you've ever done?
I would say the first one I did, which is like the outside, like the beach one that I posted on there. Because I did it with my boyfriend was there. Mark, he's also a wrestler, and I did it with Super Kicked, which is a school that I trained for. So just having people around that I care for and that I love, and they're there to support me. And obviously we played around like you're at a beach, you're gonna, I don't know, do wrestling moves in the water or like I don't know. We're all there's as you go into the water, there's like a bunch of rocks, and there was a couple of pictures I had to do like on my knees. So like the rocks were digging
Yeah.
into your knees, so they're just laughing at me while I'm having to like pose and having to have a good face while they all know like I'm in pain right now. I think that would be my funnest one with all
Do
the
you
people like around me.
Of course. I mean, besides like the knees, I'd be like, oh, and then you have to keep a straight face. Yeah.
I could not. It took a couple shots to get those, to be honest.
Oh my gosh. Do you
Yeah.
kind of have hopes or like the setting for your next photo shoot you hope to do?
Um, I'm in like I just finished doing one. Now that's more of like like a risque photo
Okay.
shoot that I have on like my personal site.
Yeah.
If you want to get into that, that's cool too. If anyone wants to log into that
Tell
one.
them. I know you have your OnlyFans. Go ahead and plug it.
Yeah, well, if anyone wants to subscribe, there's a lot more fun risque stuff on there that I'm really excited to come out. I have a few things that are on there. But for more, you can look up to that. But hopefully doing stuff soon with Super Kicked again. I would love to do more of like an active photo shoot because I like working out. I like going to the gym. I have an active physique, so it would be cool to do more of like a sport or workout focused one for future.
Of course. I think that would be really cool. I feel like you're very versatile, especially you can go like the fitness route, OnlyFans, you could do pro wrestling. I mean, there's out there in nature there. I feel like there's a lot of
Yeah,
avenues you could go and in that you've gone too. And
for sure.
I'm glad that you're wearing a tank top today because I was gonna ask you about your tattoo. I think it's on your right shoulder or left shoulder
Left shoulder.
if I'm doing this correct. So I was like so fascinated by it. So can you like tell us more about it?
Okay, so this one here I got was the first one on my arm. It's mostly all the way back here because I didn't want my parents to see it. I'm like, if it's behind
Fair.
they won't see it, but I ended up loving the placement of it. It's just a girl, black and white, and the only color on it is red. I kind of like the single color pop. And it's kind of just like the beauty behind, like for sure, like you can tell that she's a pretty girl behind like pretty roses, but you truly don't like know who she is. Just beauty beyond just what you see to the eye. And this other one is just I just thought it looked cool.
It does.
It's a skull with a snake and it's cute. The person who did it, he put like a little heart in the eye. The only like I would notice that he did it's like his little signature in there. So that's cute too. Yeah, hopefully slowly can expand on it.
So do you want to have a whole sleeve or like a half sleeve someday then?
I think so. I think so. Tattoos are expensive though, so you have to make sure. Yeah, you get what you pay for those, don't get me wrong.
Now,
Do you have any tattoos?
I don't. I've been
No.
wanting a tattoo on my wrist for the longest time. I've had the idea for years, but just I've been too afraid to.
Why?
I don't know.
If you wanted it for that
I
long,
know.
I think you should just do it.
And I don't think it'd be that expensive because it's just one word. So I don't know.
What is it? Can you say or
it's just the word hope. Like that's just been a word that's always like stuck with me like for like forever, like my own traumas and stuff, and it's like an empowering word I feel. But I heard that the wrist hurts really, really bad, so I've been contemplating putting it somewhere else. So I don't know.
I mean, I feel like like there's more sensitive spots, mind you, but at the end of the day, a tattoo's gonna hurt no matter where it is. And if it's just a word, I feel like it's a good way to ease you right into your first tattoo.
True.
You'll be okay.
How long ago did you get yours done?
My first one I got when I was 18. I have a lotus flower on my back.
Okay.
And then when did I get this bad boy? I got this probably when I was 20. I want to say 2017. How old was I in 2017? Oh my gosh, like 22. How old was I? I don't know. I'm 26 now, and it's 2022. Okay. Again, math.
Yeah, it just keeps coming back to us. I apologize.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm gonna say I was like early to like 2021 when I got this one. And then this one like 2 years after.
Nice. I love it. Like it blends together beautifully too. Like if you were to get it like even a half sleeve or a full sleeve someday, just keep building.
I think a leg sleeve would be cool. They're not as common because it's a bit longer space, but I think it would be cool to get a leg sleeve.
Lots of ideas. I mean, you got a lot of you got a lot to work with too. So, but I mean, talking about things like I've seen on your Instagram too, there was a caption too that you put that really spoke to me, basically saying like, whenever you have moments of feeling down, you quote, remind myself that the best part of getting where I want to be is the journey. The process of getting there is the best part. It's what makes your story. So enjoy it, every part of it, because you will get there. So reflecting back on your journey so far in professional wrestling, what are a few things that you're particularly proud of?
I guess overall where I was to start with and where I am now, how much I've grown, not only as a wrestler, but as a person. But specifically with wrestling, like I went from literally knowing absolutely nothing of what to do, didn't even know what like a lockup was. And to now I'm at a place where I'm still obviously still super green, still learning every single day. But now that I'm slowly going on shows and slowly progressing, it's just cool that like in the short amount of time of a few years, I went from not knowing nothing to now I'm on my way to going to shows and traveling with people. Just lots of progression as a whole.
Yeah, I've seen you were recently in Chicago too. That's really exciting.
Yeah, that was my first time there. I was freelance underground.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I can be back soon. It was such a cool venue and everyone there was so nice. And the drive, even though from here it's like 7 or 8 hours, it's still a smooth drive. As smooth as 8 hours. Yeah.
Chicago is such a great wrestling scene too. I mean, especially the drive from Canada all the way into Chicago is probably really long, but honestly, it's such a great wrestling scene.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, the people that I met there are cool. The car ride that I go with is such a good car ride. I have zero complaints about any of it.
Of course, too. And I feel like, too, you're definitely someone who strikes me as who embodies this self-confidence about yourself. So do you kind of have maybe any advice on achieving or improving one's self-confidence? Like, what has helped you along the way?
Well, referring back to the quote, obviously everyone has their bad days and feels down or wherever negative space that they have. But I feel like those moments kind of humble you and remind you that you have to feel those downs in order to appreciate the highs. I guess just when I am so low, then you realize like, I don't know, it makes you think, why are you actually in that headspace? What actually is that bad? There's all these things that you can be grateful for, not even comparing to someone else. Like obviously you can have more or less than anyone else, but at the end of the day, like if you're happy and breathing and there truly is nothing in the way that out of your control, I don't know, if there's something that's bothering you that's out of your control, then why are you worrying about it? Just focus on you.
And that makes sense, especially too. I feel like everybody has their own journeys in life and stuff like that. And you're definitely one who's addicted to bettering yourself in every way possible.
1000%.
So can you share with us some gains, as they say, that you've been making, whether in your personal life, ring work, or fitness?
Well, always gains in every single one of those. Fitness, I go to the gym every single day. So that's something very important to me. And there's days where it's like, oh, I don't think I see any sort of difference because you're looking at yourself all the time. But then you see yourself now and you compare it to something else and you're like, oh, dang, like you have actually progressed in X amount of time. And sorry, what was your question? Progressing in fitness and
like your daily life in ring work, even if it's just something small, like ways you're bettering yourself, basically.
Yeah, so bettering myself in the gym, that's like a mental and physical thing. And also staying consistent with training. I think the more in ring time you get, the better. And always building and learning on I know I keep saying multiple different things, but wrestling is such like a big thing. It's more than just in the ring and out of the ring. It is a mental thing. It's a performance thing. Like there's so many different things to grow in. And everything that it comes with, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like a multifaceted thing, like in ring work, of course, the mental side behind that, the psychology, the character work, all of that too. But down that road of fitness, you're definitely one who values your fitness. I mean, even just taking a look at your Instagram or Twitter, you can clearly tell that. So can you kind of walk us through your daily fitness routine? I'm sure it probably changes every day depending, but what is your general like fitness routine? Like not just like besides the gym, like when you wake up, like what do you do?
When I wake up, obviously go to the bathroom, clean, do the deeds if we're getting into specifics.
Yeah.
And honestly also depends on like, say I work as well. So it also depends on like what happens the day. But usually I like to wake up, If I could work out in the morning, that's awesome. I prefer to have like a fasted workout and then go, but if not, I'll definitely have some protein and carbs and then uh either go to work and then go to the gym, or go to the gym and then go to work or training. I try to be consistent as I can when it comes to like meals, but as in like a schedule. It just depends on what else is happening that day. It's where I can fit it in. It's about making the time, right?
Perio Magazine is a bi-monthly physical print magazine highlighting individuals with the desire to create. The latest issue of Perio Magazine is a special Aussie wrestling edition focusing on the heroes behind the scenes. Find Perio online at www.periomagazine.com.au. That's www.periomagazine.com.au. Again, that's www.periomagazine.com.au. Yeah, that makes sense too. And plus, that'll probably base on what you're going to do that day in the gym too, is probably partially time, whether it's like leg day, whether you're focusing on cardio or arms and all that stuff, I would assume, right?
Yeah. Always I try to do like I get bored sometimes doing a different body part every time. So like I'll either if I've done like lame legs and arms and shoulders and chest, then maybe one week I'll do like quads and biceps, and the next day I'll do hamstrings and triceps, or I don't know. I mix it up. You gotta have fun with it, because you do the same thing each time, you might get a little boring.
Yeah. So, I mean, through those workouts too, I mean, I know a lot of people use like music or podcasts. Are you one who, yes. Okay. So then
Yeah.
what are some of your go-to songs or artists that motivate you through a workout? Let's say if you're bored.
Okay. As for music, I need to like look right now, because
Sure.
my shuffle goes from, I listen to two country songs ever, but it could be that one country song mixed with some rap, with mixed with some house music. There's a very wide range. I don't know, but I listen to a lot of like Mac Miller and um like old Christina Aguilera. Like we go way back and mix it all up. Then there's like Eminem, um, I don't know, Black Eyed Peas. There's so many different kinds. I don't have like a specific. If I'm in a good mood, I'll listen to some pop-up music, but then
Yeah.
there's times you need to listen to that sad music. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way, like very versatile in like not only genres, but like moods. Like some days you just like want to listen to like the sadder songs, like, you know?
Yeah, like I'm not sad, but like Apologize by One Republic just hit some.
Oh, heck yeah. With Timbaland. Oh, heck
Yes.
yeah. Honestly though, yeah, like, and it's just like the soulful mood. Some like it's not so much sad. It's just like I feel like it's very soulful, if that makes sense. I don't
Yeah,
know.
100%. Like a song that like, or a song that could just make you cry. You're not even sad, but it's just you feel that moment.
Yeah. I feel you, Taylor. I feel you
Yeah.
too. Shifting gears a little bit, you have a very unique name. So, can you tell us more about the story behind Taylor Rising? I am very curious.
Okay, so my name was kind of given to me by my trainer. We were all in the ring, and I was just starting off, about to have my first match, and they're like, Taylor, you got to like come up with something, and I'm just like, I don't know what I should do, and they're making all these references to like Triple H, because Triple H came out as Terror Rising, and then someone said something, I forgot what was said, but they're like, oh, that's a good idea. Like Taylor Rising, terrorizing. They're like, how much can she try to do the pedigree? And then I actually just started doing the pedigree as my finisher recently. But yeah, that's how it happened. They were doing it's a spin-off of Triple H, essentially.
Would you say
Um,
that you're a Triple H fan, or are you just
I
now
definitely
learning more?
am.
Okay.
I like ever since then, I'm like, because I was still super new into wrestling.
Yeah.
I knew who he was, but I didn't like do much research on it. So I just watched a bunch of his matches, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see where they got this name from. And obviously he's an awesome wrestler. So someone that's really a good choice to look up to in wrestling for sure. But yeah, that's how the name came from.
Definitely too. And he had like a lot of longevity in his career, like over 25 years. Obviously, he just now retired. So maybe you are the next iteration of Triple
Oh
H
God.
Taylor Rising.
Big name to live up to, but you never know.
I know. I'm very curious too, though. Like, what was your childhood career aspirations? Like when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, what did I want to be when I grow up? Probably all the crazy things that everyone else thought of. Um, I don't know, growing up, I didn't have much like interest on anything besides like sports. Like
Mhm.
I've been active my whole life besides sports and my friends. Like I didn't have really other main focus on that. But I know I always liked people. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be like some sort of um I don't know, psychologist or some at that time, like a child doctor, a pediatrician. I don't know what I wanted to do at that time. Um, but obviously I never went into that. I even went to school for something completely different that had nothing to do with that. Um, I don't think I had a career choice when I was a kid. I didn't even figure out what I wanted to do until probably like a few years ago when I started wrestling.
And that's totally okay. I have a degree in psychology and I'm doing nothing with it now except paying student loans. So,
Straight up, man.
so
But do you
I
ever
get
want
it.
to do anything with that though? Or you're just like,
So I've pivoted to also professional wrestling. Like I host other podcasts and do a bunch of writing and interviewing
mm,
and hosting and stuff now. So
yeah,
I have that plus shoot job, like you said, you have as well. So kind of
yes,
professional wrestling plus the other job on the side to, stay
pay for
financially
stuff.
stable, you know?
That's true. But I'm sure like that would be one thing that would be, even if you don't continue, it's probably such an interesting thing to go to school
Yeah.
for.
Oh, it
Like, that's
definitely
a lot.
was. And I feel like even I unconsciously like use it in my daily life, you know?
Yeah, I'd be like, you're like this because
I sometimes do psychoanalyze stuff without even realizing it, to be honest.
but it helps you understand a person, so I understand it.
Of course. And I mean, you mentioned it's not surprising to learn that, of course, you've been active your whole life. What were some other things that you did when you were younger, like sports wise or activity wise?
When I was younger, I did soccer for like 7 or 8 years. Mind you, it wasn't like any professional. It was like mixed gender, like for fun. But I loved it. I did it since I was 6 until probably like the not. I say 7 or 8 years, but it's probably until like the ninth grade. Um, I did karate for 10 years as well. I got my black belt. Um, and then what else did I do? I did cheerleading in high school. Um, say I'm always active, and I say there's only three things. But yeah, those are the three main things that I did that kept me super busy.
Well, those are intense. Yeah, I did karate for a year only, and then it was like really intense. So, I
It
mean, to
is.
do that for 10, and then you played soccer for 7 or 8, and then cheerleading, that's multiple years. So,
Yeah.
that's a lot, of course, to keep up with. And now, I mean, you're still active in professional wrestling and in the gym
Hmm.
too. Um,
Yes.
Talking about definitely something else that stands out to me is your ring gear. I mean, the recent iteration with the purple and the green. Do you have any inspirations or stories behind that specific ring gear?
I was just trying to come up with something different because my very first year I had was shorts and like the a small top, which still looked
Yeah.
cute, but it's like I feel like it wasn't um me, not that I was trying to look like other girls, but I just felt like I wasn't being like myself. So I'm like, maybe I'll try some sort of pant. But still want to be show some skin, but not too much.
Mhm.
And I was looking at like different Japanese girls gear because they are their gear is crazy and
Mhm.
insane. All looks so good, but also creative. So got some few ideas from there and just trying to pick colors that I don't see people have together. um, and I Poison Ivy, I know she's red and green, but I've always like kind of liked her look. So I'm like, how can I do that with like
Mhm.
not doing that?
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, let's try this writing. It's like a raspberry and green, and it worked. It looks really good, and I love it.
I love it too, and I'm excited to see like what else you do next too. It seems like you've got like the structure of it down and getting comfortable with like cutout of the ring gear, it seems like.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what you have next in line too. But from your perspective too, who do you think maybe has the best ring gear game or aesthetic in professional wrestling today?
Who has the best ring gear? Like in WWE wrestling, like who has the best gear,
Just
or
in general, could be mainstream, could be independent, like honestly anywhere.
I'm gonna not know their names, but there's these few girls in the States that I've seen pop up on my Instagram a few times. Oh my God, I wish I could remember the name, but their colors are just like black, green, and white. And her friend is also a wrestler. I'm gonna remember it once this podcast is over. She looks like a Barbie, and she wears like this pink and white outfit. Like I wouldn't copy them, but just on them it looks super cute. I'm all about color schemes, to be honest. I just like things to pop out, not necessarily on. I can't think of necessarily on like a style or design on someone that somebody has, but those two are just what pops out right now. That's a terrible answer to your question because I can't think of their names.
All good. There's a lot of people in professional wrestling today. I mean, even just the color scheme, I feel like, or like aesthetic of something. Like you remember it? There's a lot. I get it. You're good.
I have always loved Rey Mysterio's outfits, though. He always has something different. He always has like a theme, whether it's like a superhero or if there's like a holiday or there's like a celebration that time. He's always been one to like always stand out when it comes to gear, 100%.
Oh, for sure too. And I feel like maybe that translates over to your personal style. How would you describe like your personal sense of style or fashion?
My personal sense of cute but comfy. I'll go, yeah, there's either cute and comfy or like super tight, super tight, sleek look. I'm like very in between. I like to be comfortable, but I also like to get I do also like to dress up and put makeup on and wear my heels out.
So very versatile again.
When I can. Yeah, for sure. If I could show you my closet, but then my dirty clothes are underneath, so we're not gonna.
Same. Don't tell anyone. I get you. So I got two more questions for you. Looking towards the future, what are some, didn't you also, maybe I was reading it wrong, but didn't you also just like recently have your 3-year anniversary of your debut? Or is that shortly coming up?
Oh no, it's shortly coming up. And I was looking at that. I'm like, she's gonna ask when I started wrestling, and it's like,
no,
I saw it
through your Instagram, and I was like, oh, I think that's pretty soon. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you for asking that, because I just realized that now. I'm like, when did I start? Because I had my first in-ring match. It was, I'm pretty sure, May of 2019.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Yes, I was still like, I didn't even have my green light yet. They're like, all right, Taylor, you got it. And it was not the best match ever, but that's what started it, and everyone believed in me, and it pushed me forward from there.
Of course. So I mean, looking towards the future now, what are some of your personal or professional goals you'd like to accomplish in the next few years, maybe the next 3 years?
It would be, I'm slowly starting to make my way into the States, so if that can be more of a prominent thing, making my way out there, that's definitely a goal of mine. And it would be cool. I'm slowly starting to tag with my boyfriend, but it would be cool if we could do that more often, because I learned so much from him. He's such a talented wrestler. So it'd be cool if I could also do more things with that. And I mean, it would be awesome one day to go to Europe. There's lots of wrestling down there. It would be cool to check out that scene as well.
I mean, of course. I mean, traveling the world too. I mean, there's so many different styles and stuff like that. Do you and your boyfriend have a tag team name yet?
It's in the works.
It's in the works. Fair enough. We'll keep the people guessing.
Yes.
And lastly, we are all about hashtag girl power here on A Wrestling Gal. So is there any female in your personal or professional life that inspires or empowers you the most, do you think?
As in female wrestler?
Female wrestler or personally, friends, family, personally and professionally.
I mean, we'll get deep here and say my mom. She's an awesome person, and she's always there to listen to me, and she's always there to give advice that I don't want to hear, but I know she's always right. I've one of my closest friends. I've been friends with her since the 3rd grade, my longest friend ever. I don't know what I would do without her. She's also always there for me. um, and as for like wrestling wise, I've been really grateful to have training with Chantel Taylor Wilds. She's such a nice person. She's such an awesome human being, and any advice that she's ever given me along the way has helped greatly. And I respect her a lot.
She's fantastic. I've spoken with her before a couple times. She's absolutely lovely.
She's awesome.
Hopefully we get to see Taylor versus Taylor again sometime.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I hope so too.
Now, before I let you go, can you please tell the listeners where they can find you on all your social medias?
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at underscore Taylor Rising, Instagram at official Taylor Rising, OnlyFans Taylor Rising, and if you want to add me on Facebook, I'm also under Taylor Rising.
And you did just recently drop some really cool shirts, so where can
And
the people
I
get
did.
those?
Oh my gosh.
They're really
You're
cool.
so good. Thank you so much. Here, I have one actually right here. The drawing for this guy, his name is Avin the Creator. If anyone wants to hit him up, he is awesome. Yeah, shirts for sale if anyone wants to buy one.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Taylor. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you so much. It was really nice talking to you.
Of course.